Hi, I'm Louise Bingham, speech and language therapist, and in today's survival guide, I'm going to be talking about the best way to support your child's speech and language skills at home. If your child has been having work on their speech and language skills at school, it's really likely that this work will have been passed to you, and this can feel a little bit daunting at first, especially if it isn't something that you've worked on with them very much before. But it's a really great opportunity to get to know what your child is working on, how to support those skills in the best way, and actually, as their parent and someone that knows them really well, you are in the best position to be able to boost their speech and language skills. But sometimes children can be a bit reluctant to do the tasks that they do at school with you at home. So if they're used to sitting down and working on an activity at school, they might be a bit reluctant to sit down and do that same activity with you at home. So if that is the case and you're struggling with this, the best thing to do is to bring your child's speech and language targets into everyday activities that you do at home. So things like at meal times, during bath times, even during everyday activities like household activities and chores like sorting the washing or laying the table. It's a great time to be able to boost your child's speech and language development. And by using these everyday activities, you can talk and your child can talk about things and tasks that they're really familiar with. And it gives them a chance to practice these new skills that they're learning in that really familiar context. And that can really help them to build on these skills. And you can use almost anything that you do every day. And here are some ideas to get you started. So for younger children, they'll often be working on building up their vocabulary and particularly building up their ability to understand and use verbs or action words, doing words. So if your child's working on building up their verbs, it's really good to comment on what they're doing. So if you are outside taking a walk or doing some exercise, just commenting on what your child is doing. Oh, I can see you're running really fast. Oh, let's try hopping down the road, or let's do some skipping, and just talking about what your child is doing and modelling those words for them. If you're in the kitchen and doing some cooking, you can talk about doing some stirring, some sieving, what you're measuring. In the bath, you can talk about pouring water, watching bubbles pop. And then swap so that your child can get a chance to comment or describe what you're doing. And then you can do different actions and get your child to practice talking about what you're doing. Lots of children will be working on their understanding of different concepts. So if your child is working on concepts like same and different, you can work on these when sorting the washing. So sorting pairs of socks into the same and different, or sorting clothes into different piles. You can also work on understanding different categories. So sorting clothes into things we wear outside and things we wear inside, or things we wear at bedtime, things we wear during the day, or into different colours. And that can really help with their categorisation and support their vocabulary skills. If they are working on their ability to understand question words, so things like who, what, where, what doing, reading a story together and then asking your child some questions about what happened can really help with these skills. So, who went to the shops and what did they buy at the shops? And who did they see at the shops? And where are they going now? And if your child is struggling to answer those questions, just giving them a little bit of time, pausing, and then just helping to answer them for them. So, who's going to the shops? I think Sally's going to the shops. And your child might be working on their storytelling skills, their ability to tell what's happened in an event or to retell a story. So after watching one of their favourite TV programmes, get them to tell you what happened. You might need to ask them some questions so that they give you all the information you need. And you can also ask them to think about what might happen next, or what the characters might do or say to each other. And that helps to develop their ability to predict and infer information. So you can go to our activities page on our parent portal website to find lots more ideas for developing your child's speech and language skills using those everyday activities. So give it a go today and boost your child's speech and language skills during all of your everyday activities.